over his I guess his rulings at the CDC, or how he's handling the CDC. Sorry. Pretty much this was kind of going viral a little bit. And the reason I say a little bit is because you mainly seen it on the political channels, but it was a lot of heated conversations. Let's get to it. And remember that this is about health and wellness, guys, and vaccines. So before I start this, I like to say that S.E.T Media abides by all CDC rulings, and whatever RFK JR does not pretty much align with what we represent here at S.E.T Media with or according to the CDC guidelines. All right, let's
say you just said a whole bunch of nonsense.
I know, right?
Just say that we believe that vaccines are the holy solution to all problems, and you can even solve gun deaths with vaccines. You just get an anti-bullet vaccine.
Absolutely.
Actually, that is way better. There you go.
Oh, wait, Secretary Kennedy is dead set on making it harder for children to get vaccines, and that kids are going to die because of it. And Mr. Chairman, I'd like to...
I mean, dang, it's only been 11 seconds that already started off on the BS, but let's get into it.
Get vaccines, and that kids are going to die because of it. And Mr. Chairman, I'd like to put in the record today an op-ed written by Susan Monarez, who was fired by Mr. Kennedy.
Oh, and shout out to my man Jet. He says, when you eat for a family of 4, your ass gonna be broke. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, maybe it's their appetite. I don't know. But when you're showing me a whole bunch of fat people talk about eating poor, I'm just like, well, obviously y'all not poor enough. Obviously, you can feed yourself to maintain this weight.
I'm sorry. If you have higher than a 20% body fat, you're not poor.
Yeah, you trust me, you're doing quite well.
So what we know, and Dr. Monarez, was approved by Republicans. She wrote an op-ed today in the Wall Street Journal, which I've just put in the record, and I quote her. She said, "I was told to pre-approve the recommendations of a vaccine advisory panel newly filled with people who have publicly expressed anti-vaccine rhetoric." So it's not some liberal philosopher or something. This is the CDC director who tells the Wall Street Journal, which is not exactly interested in progressive, theories and the like.
I mean, are you sure now? Because Wall Street Journal definitely does come out and try to bash Trump on every economic agenda, every trade agenda that this man has. So we're not going to sit here and pretend like the Wall Street Journal isn't biased. Let's just
also,
not.
Can I just put in a pearl real quick? Just for all the low information voters out there and the people that don't have that long of a short-term memory. Do you remember when President Trump put out Operation Warp Speed to get a vaccine pushed out to the masses, and every Democrat on the left was saying, "I'm not going to take it." And then suddenly when Biden becomes president, the same vaccine is now mandatory. Just saying, Just for point of clarification, remember when the CDC went out and said that you could not to wear a mask and to save them for the healthcare workers because masks weren't that effective on stopping spread? Remember that? Remember when they told you that you should wear like a neck gaiter as a mask?
Yeah.
Remember that? Like I'm sorry, I wasn't. This wasn't that long ago. So but
I saw this video of a guy driving down the road and he ran over a Trump sign. Turns out the person also put some happy little 2x4s with nails there.
With nails on it? Yeah.
And the guy gets out of his car and he's wearing a mask. He's driving down some county highway.
All right, guys. All right, let's get back to it.
That she was told to pre-approve the recommendations of a vaccine advisory panel filled with people who publicly expressed anti-vaccine rhetoric. So my first question, Mr. Secretary, is did you in fact do what Director Monarez said you did, which is tell her to just go along with vaccine recommendations, even if she didn't think such recommendations aligned with scientific evidence? That is
no, I did not.
That's a yes or no. So you have an opportunity to call her a liar if you say that you didn't do it. But I'd like to respond to this.
No, I did not say that.
All right, what's up?
Hold on. To responding to parabolic, I wasn't talking about BMI. I said if your body fat percentage is over 20%, i.e., extra calories that got turned into fat, then you're not poor. Because he said BMI. BMI is bullshit. It accounts for nothing to do with muscle tone or whatever.
No,
That's
yeah.
not what I'm talking about. I said body fat. If your body fat percentage is over 20%, you're not poor.
No, yeah, it is definitely more proper to go off body fat percentage than BMI, because right, BMI does not account for those guys who just happen to have a good amount of muscle.
And they're not poor. They're not poor either. You know how much money it takes and how many calories it takes to maintain.
Muscles?
If your BMI is all screwed up, and because of muscles, they're eating high calorie diets too.
I mean, yeah, let's be real. Let's be real. Like a lot of people that you could consider them overweight due to their good health.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we like to go with the body, body fat percentage.
Body having a high body fat does increase comorbidities for things like diabetes, heart disease, cancer, all like just not being able to recover well from traumatic events. Like your body is put under an enormous amount of stress that it doesn't need to be put out, and it's not designed to be put under. So yes, it does directly correlate to health.
Yeah, all right, guys. Make sure y'all lose that fat out there, guys. I ain't saying you need a chiseled 6-pack, but I mean, you don't need to have a gut.
You don't need to have eight tubs of pudding wrapped around your body either.
Yeah, you don't need the rolls, guys. You don't need the rolls. But all right, let's keep it going. All right, and shout out to RFK JR for, well, I guess he's gonna hold it down against these guys.
No, so you have an opportunity to call her a liar if you say that you didn't do it. But I'd like to see you respond to this.
No, I did not say that to her. And I never had a private meeting with her. So there are witnesses to every meeting that we have, and all of those witnesses will say, I never said that.
So she's lying today to the American people in the world.
And shout out to Hellbat. He says BMI is to calculate your calorie intake. You know, so funny. I remember when BMI was it was misogynist. Yes, I remember when BMI misogynist or is a white Euro standard or something like that. It used to be an excuse for fat people to dodge accountability when they try to discredit BMI. And then people came out with a more scientific reasoning by not accounting for muscle mass and all that good stuff.
But it still has nothing to do with the fact that you're fat. Like if you're fat, you're fat. Like there's no getting around that. But you don't use BMI to tell someone that they're fat.
Hey, no hugging jokes.
He's like, you don't use BMI to tell people that they fat, man. Hey, man, that's what they was doing back in the day, though. I mean, if your BMI was high and it said you was obese, usually you was obese. If it said you were overweight, then that was usually the people you could sit there and be like, now, is that muscle mass or what else?
Right, yeah. So if you have someone that's overweight and does not appear to have a large body habitus, usually they're overweight because they have denser, because muscle weighs more than fat does, denser muscle contributing to that BMI. So, like, if you're trying to dodge the fat, if you look in the mirror and you can't fit from end to end in the frame of the mirror, you're fat.
Oh shit!
Wall Street Journal.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's talk now about what's coming up, because I've made it clear what I've thought about the 203 days with my colleague Senator Also Brooks. In 2 weeks, CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices will meet to make decisions about critical vaccines that protect us against hepatitis B, measles, and more. The committee's got a profound impact on vaccine access, but these aren't ordinary meetings. You've stacked the deck to ensure the panel bends to your views. In June, you fired all 17 committee members who were scientists and doctors. You replaced them with non-experts.
Yo,
set.
He said, "What?
Some people just need a bigger mirror." That's a fucking Marine if I've ever heard it.
If you gotta buy a bigger mirror, that should tell you a lot. Like, come on, bro. Really? You have to buy a bigger mirror? Like, what? One to fit your whole wall size?
Well, then you need a bigger spoon too.
Oh,
No, they
man.
need a smaller spoon.
Like, man, no, for real.
Well, I mean,
Need
if
a
we're
baby
going with
spoon.
the logic,
But all right, guys.
Put them on bread and water and see how quickly they lose that fat.
Man, bread, water, and fruits and vegetables.
all those survival shows like Alone, all those
Mhm.
people fatten themselves up intentionally just because they lose it all.
Oh no, hey man, just in case they starve, they gotta have something that their body can eat.
Oh, they'll starve.
Skeptics and conspiracy theorists. As a result, this critical advisory panel has lost scientific credibility. After years, colleagues, we spend so much time not looking at this as Democrats and Republicans, but as good science and scientific,
No.
And now
Pause.
the American
Pause.
Academy
Fuck
of
that guy.
What's up?
Fuck that guy. Years and years, scientific, blah, 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 blah. They have no scientific credibility. When you tell people not to wear masks during a pandemic, and then when the Democrat gets in office, suddenly mask wearing is mandatory, yeah, that's when you lose scientific credibility. When you can't make up your mind. When you can't keep up with current medicine in your practices and in what's considered standard practice, that's when you lose scientific credibility.
Yeah, like when it seems like you guys are going against an agenda instead of the scientific facts, yeah, you gotta lose credibility.
When you start talking about stupid shit that has nothing to do with health, that's when you lose your scientific freaking platform to stand on. And it has always been liberal Democrats running that. The health industry is historically run and operated by people that lean on the liberal side. So get over yourself. Like, what?
If you look at the guy that's asking the questions right now, his strategy right now is to make him slip up and say, "Oh yes, that's a lie" or something, just so they can put some kind of legal process
Against it, yeah.
to have an investigation into that or something.
So it's bipartisan as long as a Democrat runs it, but as soon as a Republican, or mind you, RFK is a Democrat, but as soon as someone Trump appoints, somehow it's partisan.
Man.
Get over yourself.
All right, let's keep it going, guys. Let's keep it going.
Pediatrics has warned that the committee is being politicized at the expense of children's health.
Oh yeah, the
American
children.
Academy of Pediatrics, you think they're lying too?
I think the American Academy of Pediatrics is gravely conflicted. They get their biggest contributors are the 4 largest vaccine makers.
Damn.
They run a journal of pediatrics, which they make a lot of money on, that is completely dependent on pharmaceutical companies. So I wouldn't put a big stake in what they say that benefits pharmaceutical interests. Senator, I didn't politicize ACIP. I depoliticized it. The Congress has been investigating ACIP.
All over the country, Mr. Secretary, scientists and doctors are saying otherwise. They're all wrong too. They're all lying, according to you.
The scientists are supporting me all over the country.
Yeah.
You see that? Hold on. You see that strategy? He points someone out, the American Academy of Pediatrics, because that's his only card he has to play. The American Academy of Pediatrics. RFK says, well, they're backed by vaccine manufacturers. Whether that's true or not, he didn't address that. He didn't talk about that. But as soon as he loses his one card to play, well, doctors everywhere. That's not true. Doctors everywhere. No, they're not everywhere saying that. I know doctors that agree one way or the other on different holistic methods. Like, a DO versus an MD looks at a holistic approach to the body, and sometimes, usually, is more apprehensive to give certain drugs because it has a holistic approach. Like, this might damage one thing trying to fix another.
All right, now hold on. Now, shout out to my man Hellbat. He says S.E.T needs to step his polish game up. That guy has him beat 10 times over. Come on, S.E.T. We know you could do it. I know what. I don't know how to get their forehead that shiny.
Oh, polishing game.
Yeah, I don't know how to get their forehead that shiny, bro. Like, you're right.
Just dump. What is it? Glycerin on your head.
No, I just need to, diddy up and get the baby oil. You feel me?
Oh God.
I don't get letters from thousands of people who are not political saying that
Not
this
political.
set of changes is going to damage American healthcare, and particularly these healthcare agencies, for decades to come. I don't get any letters from people saying, hey, this is going to make a big difference forever.
Maybe you're listening to a selective group of people.
Well, you get me.
Yeah, and I will.
Fine.
I will tell you what, Senator. I will put my mailbag against your mailbag any day of the week.
30 seconds. Dangerous respiratory viruses like RSV are on the agenda for the next advisory meeting. Countless parents have been awakened in the dead of night by a wheezing kid gasping for air, forced to rush their little one to the ER. There's no worse heart-wrenching fear. The RSV vaccine offers these kids protection against the worst.
Pause. Fuck it. Now he's talking about things he has no idea what he's talking about. RSV is not this freaking dangerous fucking whatever. You take your kid to the hospital, we give them some albuterol, we clear their fucking lungs out. If they have pneumonia, we treat the pneumonia with antibiotics. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, RSV is on the rise. Why? Because it's winter time.
Well, yeah, we're heading into the
we're getting into cold and flu season. So yes, it's on the fucking rise. Like, what are you talking about? What sense are you making?
Being over dramatic. But all right,
yeah, dangerous RSV. It's a fucking flu. Like, it's a virus. Get over yourself.
The virus. But now it looks like you're on a crusade to make infants and babies more vulnerable to the terrible illness. That's what we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Changes.
And please make your answer brief, Mr. Secretary.
Respond to him accusing you of murder.
Congress has been investigating that committee for 23 years because it is pervaded with conflicts of interest. What we did is we got rid of the conflicts of interest. We depoliticized it and put great scientists on it from a very diverse group.
Let me close with
very pro-vaccine.
Let me close with.
And shout out to my man Daniel Castro. It's so shiny because it's never been used. New brain. I'm done. Okay.
But Set, let's unpack that for a second, like, you know, and use actual common sense. So RSV, any upper airway issue, especially in kids, there's a saying that kids compensate a lot better than adults do. Especially like before they go septic, before they go into shock, before you know, illnesses and ailments hurt them. But when they do, they fall off a cliff and they decompensate very, very rapidly. But so to say that we're putting more infants at risk for some arbitrary statement, no, you're not putting kids at risk because you can treat them a lot more effectively than you can adults. You can break you can break a kid's fever a lot easier than you can break an adult's fever. You can break a kid's cough a lot easier than you can break an adult's cough. They're very reactive and very quickly to treat. So this idea that RFK somehow opening up the conversation about vaccines, which liberals considered a closed conversation because we just take our money and be happy about it.
Man, pretty much shout out to youth because that comes with, well, high immunity.
Yeah, you have a much higher immunity. You have a much higher threshold for disease that you can withstand as a child. So this guy has no idea what he's talking about. Kids are gonna die. No, they're not.
I'm glad I brought you on, Monty, because this is one of the reasons why I was like, you know what, Monty's on here. Perfect time to bring this one up. Because I'll be real with you, I would have to do. I was doing so much Googling on this. I was like, bro, I'm gonna have to have a conversation with Monty about this one.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's not to say that if you don't vaccinate your kids that they're just going to be fine. No, you should get vaccinations for threats to their health, you know, things that would compromise their airway, things that would compromise their brain or cause them to have seizures, you know, so on and so forth. You should get vaccinated against those things. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but the idea that somehow kids are just going to fall off the face of the earth because RFK is laughable. Like they still don't understand everything there is to understand about health, and yet they want to speak like they do. They change their opinions every 10 to 15 years. But in that 10 to 15 years, they go so hard and so heavy for these things, and it causes negative effects.
All right, let's keep it going. Shout out Monty.
This because, like Senator Crapo, I'm a few seconds over. I don't think, Mr. Secretary, this is about you and me. This is about kids being pushed in harm.
Man, shout out my man Foxy. He said, yo, what's up, crew? And I got that damn cold shit going around too, bro. It felt like I had a fever, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was out cold. Didn't even want to move with the shivers. Then all of a sudden I wake up feeling all better again. Probably because I fasted, ain't nothing but fruits all day. But hey, it is what it is. But hey, hope you get better too, my man. Shout out my man Fox Chase. And then been in here for, well, over 9 months. They're kind of doing you dirty. So I know you've been in here for over that.
Harm's way by reckless and repeated decisions to get scientists and doctors out of the way and allow conspiracy theories to dictate this country's health policy. I don't see any evidence that you have any regrets about anything you've done or plans to change it. And my last comment is, I hope that you will tell the American people how many preventable child deaths are an acceptable sacrifice for enacting an agenda that I think is fundamentally cruel.
Wow, it's all about child sacrifices. Okay.
And now that he's lost every aspect of that debate, now he's going to question him with a straw man fallacy, as if that's what RFK was saying, and whatever.
Now, Monty, shout out to the super chat from Hellback. Which one's more dangerous for kids, vaccines or abortions? Well,
as a medical expert, well, not an expert. I'm still considered not an expert
in training.
But as a medical professional, I would say that something that completely ends life is a little bit more dangerous than something that sometimes ends life. So,
yeah. Well, abortions for the win on this one.
Rule that defies common sense. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Do I got a reply? Or Senator, you've sat in that chair for how long? 20.
I'm sorry, that was funny. Even the lady in the back tried not to laugh. That was hilarious.
Common sense. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Do I got a reply? Or
hold on. I
Senator,
can go get an advanced level provider and see what they think about it. Stand by. Continue.
All right. Gotcha.
Chair for how long? 25 years, while the chronic disease in our children went up to 76%. And you said nothing. You never asked the question why it's happening.
What's more deadly?
Happening?
Oh, boy.
Today, for the first time in 20 years, we learned that infant mortality has increased in our country. It's not because I came in here. It's because of what happened.
Yo, what's up?
Hold on. What's more deadly? Vaccines or abortions?
Abortions?
Okay.
All right, just have to make sure. You never know.
The Biden administration that we're going to end.
I'm going to Senator Wyden respond briefly to that, and then we're not going to go over like we just did.
This committee on a bipartisan basis. Colleagues, my cabinet secretary says.
I don't know, bro. I don't know if you're defending on a bipartisan basis, because I thought Dems hate corporate money, or that whole lobbying. I thought y'all hated that, but you didn't want to call out the lobbying that these industries, or that these groups that you want to call out, saying that, oh, well, they're going against you on the vaccines and you need to listen to them and all this good stuff. Well, how come you didn't know that these guys are supported by these vaccine companies, funded? Why didn't you know that before you made that argument?
He probably does, because he probably is too.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a pretty damn good point.
Elizabeth Warren is.
Hey man, big pharma.
You see how hot and heavy she went against RFK? And for the record, no one's talking about banning vaccines. He's only talking about not mandating everybody to get untested vaccines. Or to do the research, more than, oh, you gave me money? Okay, it's FDA approved now.
And shout out to Hellback coming in with another question. He says, now which one has a higher kill count? I would think abortions takes the win on that one again.
I think it's the KD
let's not
ratio
even
for
count the
abortions.
abortions that they don't bring to the hospital.
Abortions never cost a life.
Hold on, finish that statement.
Oh, if you go with a liberal mentality, then abortion doesn't kill anybody because fetuses aren't they're not alive, and you can't kill something that's not alive.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If we found single-celled organism on Mars, it would be called life.
It would be called
So-
life, right?
So
if a
that's
fungus
a scary
grows
life.
on Mars, that's life. But a baby that has a heartbeat, nope, that's not life. But we declare someone clinically dead when they have no breathing and no heart rate. But when they have a heart rate in the womb, somehow they're not alive.
It's actually crazy. Like that type of thinking, they are kind of standing 10 toes on it, because what are they doing in not California, but in Canada, they're doing what was it? Assisted unalivings.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's called compassionate relief.
Compassionate relief. That's nice. I like that.
That's
But I mean, I don't disagree with that. Like if you
Really?
are of sound mind and body, so the liberal side of me is going to say that I agree with that more than I agree with forced unaliving of fetuses, because at least you get to determine when you're of sound mind and body,
maybe.
a terminal condition, right? So what I have a problem with is in healthcare, there's a lot of people that have gotten dementia or some ailment that completely eradicates their ability to make decisions, and their family subjects them to the horrors of CPRs, of intubations, of surgeries, things that do not give you any comfort, and they're not able to end suffering because that's all they're doing. They're living in suffering. They have no quality of life. I guarantee you, if we could ask them, they would say, "No, I don't want to live like this." And many do when they're, awake and alert. So I agree with compassionate relief more than I agree with abortion, for the record.
All right then. You're probably the first person I heard to actually say, "You know what, I'm okay with that." A lot of people were being
No.
outraged about it. Me personally, I was
A
like,
lot of-
if you're overly trying to like talk these people into it instead of giving them help, that's what I don't agree with.
No. I do not agree with that. It
Okay.
should never be brought up by a practitioner of medicine. It should be an option given to people, but not forced upon them. That there is a difference there.
I have a
if you
question. Now, if they have Alzheimer's or dementia, are they considered of sound mind to make these decisions?
No, they're not. And that's
Okay.
the
Thank God.
unfortunate part. You have to make the decision while you're completely conscious, alert, and oriented.
Gotcha.
And you also have to have a terminal condition. Like they're not just whacking people off so that they can save on healthcare.
I'm sure you could put that in a living will.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
Well,
guys.
you
Let's
can put a DNR order in your living will, but that not an assisted suicide.
Okay, let's get back to it, guys. Well, shout out, Monty.
Mr. Chairman, could we have regular order, please?
I don't know, man. You got grilled too much. I mean, RFK. RFK. Yeah, RFK cooked you, man. He cooked you. I'm sorry. It's over for you.
With the chronic care bill that Chairman Hatch, when he was chairman, and this committee put together on a bipartisan basis.
All right, we're going to proceed. And I just want the rest of the members to know, I gave Senator Wyden as ranking member some leeway there, but we're going to stick to the 5 minutes.
Mr. Secretary, in June, you fired every member. Mr. Secretary, Mr. Secretary, may I have my time back, Mr. Chairman? Thank you. Mr. Secretary, thank you for your attention. In June, you fired every member of the well-qualified panel that was charged with recommending vaccines to the CDC. No one in your job has ever fired every committee member all at once.
Hilarious.
That month, you told the American people that you were, quote, going to bring great people onto the ACIP panel, not anti-vaxxers. Are you aware that one of the people you put on the panel, Dr. Robert Malone, claimed that the commonly used mRNA vaccine, quote, causes a form of AIDS and can damage children's, quote, brains, their heart, their immune system, and their ability to have children in the future? Yes or no, Mr. Kennedy?
And Dr. Malone is one of the inventors.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Were you aware that he had that view when you appointed him to this panel?
Dr. Malone is one of the inventors. As I said, Dr. Malone is one of the inventors of the mRNA
That's fine. That's
vaccine,
not
so he knows a lot more
that
about
statement.
it than I do.
Okay, he's one of the inventors of the vaccine, so he would. I mean, he has kind of the say so, not the say so, but the knowledge on what the effects are.
He's an authoritative knowledge on the fact. So, but he brings that point up, and then he wants to cut him off and cut him off and cut him off because they don't do their research. They don't know what they're talking about. They go based off of feels and not based off of science.
Yeah, because like you bring up this doctor and you didn't know that he was one of the people that was, excuse me, but that was inventing or I guess creating the mRNA vaccine.
So when he says something about the vaccine, maybe you should listen to him.
Yeah, since he's one of the inventors, like I don't know, if somebody wasn't an inventor of this mic and something was going wrong with it, I would listen to that guy. I would listen.
Right.
I'm a watchmaker. I know how mechanical engineering goes. I'd be a guy who would know how a design works if I made the design.
Exactly. Right. But all right, let's keep it going.
Mr. Chairman, that statement is not true that Dr. Malone made, just as it wasn't.
Oh, and shout out to Hellbat. He's like, I'm failing and acting like a lib. My bad. It's okay, bro. It's a hard role to take on. You got to have some real dedication to it.
True when you wrote that, quote, African AIDS is entirely different from Western AIDS. Are you aware
can I say something real quick?
Of these?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm seeing a lot of people in chat debating abortion. There is no debate to it. The body autonomy happened when you opened your legs. The consequences of the body autonomy is that you you have a child inside of you. You don't get to separate because someone said, "Oh, if you protect the rights of the unborn child, you have to discriminate against the rights of the pregnant mother." No, you don't. She had the right to, not open her legs. She had the right to open her legs. There's consequences to it. If you eat, you shit. If you freaking drink water, you piss. Like, you...
It happens. Yes, if you have coitus, you get a baby. If you have it enough, at least.
Yeah, right.
Or on the right time of the month.
And at the moment of conception, the baby has its own unique DNA.
Yep. But let's forget that science so that we can push our agenda on abortion. But trust the science, guys.
I mean, guys, if you're willing to get down, take some responsibility. I should have known what that sound is, by the way.
I have no idea what that sound is.
Dr. Levy wrote that, quote, evidence is mounting and indisputable that mRNA vaccines cause serious harm, including death, especially among young people. Yes or no? Are you aware that he said that?
I wasn't aware he said it, but I think I agree with it.
You agree with it? It's not true. It wasn't true when he said it. It is not true when you said it. Secretary Kennedy, later this month, your new panel will meet to consider changing vaccine recommendations for American children. In addition to the COVID-19 vaccines, they are set to review recommendations for them.
As long as it's not what Fox Shay said, sure.
Yeah. So we're just putting acronyms out on there. I want people to understand what mRNA actually is. I believe mRNA stands for messenger RNA, which is basically what tells the it's made from DNA, and it basically tells cells how to replicate based off of what the DNA is saying. If you manipulate that, you are changing fundamental things about DNA. So there is an argument to be made that if you study it for long enough, you might find anomalies with people that take mRNA vaccines. It's almost like genetically modified food. You can genetically modify food to withstand freezing. You can genetically modify food to withstand droughts or be more hardy.
Fresh, never frozen beef.
Right. So, but you have to acknowledge the fact that you are changing it, and when you do change things, there is a balance to life, and if you fuck that balance up too much, there might be detrimental consequences to it.
Yeah,
Just
as I like to say, Mother Nature has a way of self-correcting.
Absolutely. Life will find a way.
Yeah, you can't beat Mother Nature. Two people you can't beat: Mother Nature and Father Time.
Oh, that's for sure.
All right, let's get back into
The
it.
hepatitis B vaccine, for measles, for mumps, for rubella and varicella vaccine, and the RSV vaccine. These are common back-to-school vaccinations for children all over the industrialized world. If you change that, you owe parents in Colorado and across the country the benefit of some transparency, I think. If your panel recommends changing the vaccine schedule for children, do you anticipate that fewer children will receive these common vaccinations, yes or no?
What I would say, Senator.
The obvious answer is yes. Should parents and schools of Colorado be prepared for more measles outbreaks as a result of that, Mr. Secretary?
Senator,
how about more mumps outbreaks?
I do not anticipate a change in the MMR vaccine. ACIP is an independent panel. So
well, it's a panel you just put those folks on. Far from what you said, they're people with ideas that are completely outside the mainstream.
You mean out of the pharmaceutical paradigm?
Let me just say, Mr. Secretary, all these vaccines that we're talking about today are free and accessible to parents today in America who have the freedom.
Yeah, free, accessible, and possibly slightly dangerous. I mean, that's the problem.
To be able to make that choice for their children. Will that be true after your handpicked panel makes their judgments about these vaccines?
I think that parents should be free to.
I know you said that before. I do too.
To make their own choices.
So will they be just as free after these?
I assume they will be.
I will hold you to that, Secretary Kennedy, because this is not a podcast. It is the American people's health.
Oh
that's
my
on
God.
The line here. This is the last thing, by the way, our parents need when their kids are going back to school.
Jealousy.
To have the kind of confusion and expense and scarcity that you're creating as a result of your ideology. I think it's critical for you to share the evidence that this panel will rely on. Will you give the American people 6 months or 6 weeks in advance the record that they're going to rely on to make these decisions? Will you make it transparent for the American people?
All the evidence is transparent.
Will you make it in advance transparent for the American people so they can comment on it?
All the evidence is transparent for the first time in history, and you were never there complaining when the pharmaceutical companies were picking those people and then running their products through with no safety.
You can characterize.
Damn. Okay, damn.
That's what
I see why this is what everybody said this got intense. But hold on now, before you guys go in, shout out to my man Hellbay. He says, whenever your ex says you'll never find someone like me, answer that. And the answer that is the point.
Yep.
Oh man, trust me. I've been told that one before.
It any way you want. I quoted them today. What I said was accurate. What you said were lies. You
Are you saying, Senator,
moving the Titanic?
Senator, are you saying that the mRNA vaccine has never been associated with myocarditis or pericarditis?
I am saying,
is that what you're trying to tell us?
I am simply trying to say that the people that you have put on that panel, after firing the entire,
you're evading the question.
No, I'm asking the questions here.
You're evading that question.
I'm asking the questions,
I
Mr.
asked you a
Kennedy.
question.
I'm asking the questions for Mr. Kennedy on behalf of parents and schools and teachers all over the United States of America who deserve so much better than your leadership. That's what this conversation is about, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, they deserve the truth, and that's what we're going to give them for the first time in the history of that agency.
And I'm approaching this as a doctor.
Pause.
I'm concerned about children's health.
Gotcha.
So they have a problem with any light being shed on vaccines because it might destroy the delicate misplaced trust in vaccines.
No,
So
it's gonna mess up that delicate donation that the pharmaceutical companies give them.
that's really what it is. But heaven forbid any questions be asked. Like, that's the whole point of science, is to ask questions. And this is the only guy that's asking the questions. You don't say, "Oh, a question's been answered," if you change your practice in medicine every 15 years. So this idea, this fallacy that him asking questions is dangerous, that's authoritarianism.
Yep.
That is what fucking not having any say in your democracy looks like. Don't ask any questions. We tell you what's good for you.
And the same people that say they're against the billionaires are at the whims of the billionaires.
Exactly. I don't like billionaires and millionaires. Blah 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 blah. They're and they have multiple houses. They have millions of dollars amongst them. They sit back and they take donations from these people so that they can stay in power. And then they thrash anybody that has the gall to say, well, maybe this isn't the best thing, or maybe we should look at this before we mandate that people take it.
But we're not going to do that because, Big Pharma was also nice to gift us all $1 million. So let's all ignore it.
Yeah, let's just completely ignore that fact. But to simply ask questions is going to lead to the death of children. Then that means that you shouldn't have the vaccine in the first place if you can't ask questions about it.
Man, shout out Monty, because I'm not even that is they're making some pretty wild statements here. I could see why they kept saying that. Yeah, this got out of control, because what these guys are claiming RFK is doing is, well, one, it is false, and two, it shows that you guys have not done any research into this, and you're just going off the F Trump ideology, and of course,
no, it's not the F Trump. This goes even deeper than F.
Well, but here's the thing, all right, well, I would say this: do you think they would do this if this was like a Biden's appointed?
Hell no, they wouldn't do that. Hell no. You know what they would? They would flip script and say, we don't need to let the pharmaceutical industries that pay us billions and billions of dollars, that have their hands in Congress's cookie jar. We don't need to let them regulate how vaccines work. That's how that conversation would go. And if it would change under any other president, then it's a partisan issue, and they're the one being partisan.
Seniors' health, all of our health. And I applaud you for joining the president in a call for radical transparency. Thank you for that. I said yesterday, I believe it, that President Trump deserves a Nobel Prize for Operation Warp Speed. If he had been President Obama, he would have gotten it. But because of Operation Warp Speed, forcing the federal government to come to a vaccine development within 10 months when others said it couldn't be done, we saved millions of lives globally, trillions of dollars. We reopened economies, an incredible accomplishment. Mr. Secretary, do you agree with me that the president deserves a Nobel Prize for Operation Warp Speed?
Yeah, absolutely, Senator. That was phenomenal.
Let me ask you. But you just told Senator Bennett that the COVID vaccine killed more people than COVID.
Wait,
that was a statement.
I did not say that.
Okay, then let me ask, because you also
Senator, I just want to make clear, I did not say that.
We'll check the record. That's a question of fact. You also said that you were also, as lead attorney for the Children's Health Defense, you engaged in multiple lawsuits attempting to restrict access to the COVID vaccine. Again, it surprises me that you think so highly of Operation Warp Speed.
Pause.
And as an attorney,
Pause. Good. He did not engage in any lawsuits that restricted access. He engaged in lawsuits that basically said you have to take this to live or to be amongst society. There is a vastly different one is about choice and one is about taking something away from somebody. He never took the choice away. He gave the choice to people to not tried to give the choice to people to not take it.
The vaccine is still available. It is not.
Yeah. And it's free. It's fucking free.
Yeah.
To restrict access. Now, let me ask.
I'm happy to explain why.
I had 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. It also surprises me because you've canceled, or HHS did, but apparently under your direction, $500 million in contracts using the mRNA vaccine platform that was critical to Operation Warp Speed. Again, an accomplishment that I think President Trump should get a Nobel Prize for.
You
We
really?
canceled $500 million in contracts. Now, I grew up in a middle-class family, so
Oh,
$500
here we
million
go.
seems just to cancel. It seems like an incredible waste of money. But it also seems like a commentary upon what the president was attempting, what the president did in Operation Warp Speed, which is to create a platform by which to create vaccines. So this just seems inconsistent that you.
Honestly, I think he was just trying to rush the vaccine now in a very extreme situation. Now,
Yeah.
was it a mistake?
For people,
Honestly, I believe it was, but it was like, what else could he do?
it was rushed out so people would have the opportunity, not the mandate, to take it.
Yeah, mandate didn't
Because
come until Biden.
you know what's wild is everybody's talking about, like, Parabolic just talked about herd immunity. That's not what the fucking news was saying. The news was saying if you get the jab, you won't get COVID. If you get the jab, you'll spread COVID. If you get the jab while you're pregnant, your baby will be immune to COVID.
Stop the cow.
Which is completely false. For one, because you have your own DNA as a baby, and mRNA is a product of DNA. So this idea that a vaccine will cross the placental barrier is fucking laughable. But the he was forcing it, or he was moving it along so that people would have the option to take a vaccine, not so that they would be forced to take a vaccine. And to Parabolic's point, yeah, a vaccine requires herd immunity. So why wasn't the media saying that? Why was the media lying to everybody, saying that if they took the vaccine, they would be protected?
And didn't the vice president of, I think, Pfizer come out and say not only were they not doing what they said they were supposed to, but the employees of Pfizer themselves were not allowed to take it?
I did
it was
not
on
hear
James
that.
O'Keefe. I think I heard something like, not exactly, but I heard something like that on James O'Keefe, where one of the guys who were working for the pharmaceutical companies or who made the vaccine was pretty much admitting, like, yeah, we knew it wasn't safe. Let me see if I can find it on James O'Keefe.
It's experimental. It's fucking experimental.
But they knew it wasn't safe, but they were just like, but yo, the government was pressuring on us to put us out. We got our legal protection for it, so it was F it.
Well, the VP actually came out in public. It wasn't just a James O'Keefe flick.
Well, shoot.
So, I mean, again, and Trump did a lot of that during his first term, with different medical procedures, like the right to choose experimental procedures if you have a terminal illness. Basically opening up the pipeline for FDA testing of new things. And it's wild that they want to point back to this. Trump didn't mandate anybody take the vaccine. He just made it available. Now, through some sketchy means, because he let the pharmaceutical industry fucking dictate how it was going to be done, because the government has no ability to create a vaccine. But this idea that Trump made the vaccine so everybody should be forced to take it, that wasn't the idea. The idea was to get the country back on track through a democratic process. The democratic process being either you take the vaccine or you don't. And you can't on one hand say that Trump's doing it, so I'm not going to take it. Then as soon as you get into office, because this was the vice president that said this, fucking Camel Toe Harris said that I'm not going to take it if this administration's responsible for it. I'm not going to take the vaccine. Then you see Joe Biden up there getting the vaccine.
Well, you would hope. For his age, you would hope.
My mom worked for the public defender's office at the time, and it was mandatory for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's mandatory for me.
Bro, you have to get a vaccine card and bring it in.
I would not be able to. My certificate would have been revoked if I did not get the vaccine. That's how serious. That's how forced it was. If you were in the military, there was a time and period which you would get dishonorably discharged
Oh,
You get a felony on your record if you do not take the vaccine.
and there are a lot of people who didn't take it, but Trump not only he gave them back pay.
Yep.
He took away the dishonorable discharge and gave them back pay.
As he should have, because it should not be forced. Like, an experimental vaccine should not be forced. And then a vaccine that has shaky research on it, funded by people that benefit financially from it being approved, also should not be forced, in my opinion. It should be validated by independent people that have nothing to do with the creation of it.
Agreed. But all right, guys, let's get back to it.
Would agree with me, the president deserves a tremendous amount of credit for this.
Is this a question, Senator Cassidy, or is this a speech that you don't want me to answer? Because I want to answer that question.
Please,
If it's a question.
But be tight, please.
First of all, the reason that Operation Warp Speed was genius is it did something nobody had ever been done. I don't think any president, but President Trump could do it. It got the vaccine to market that was perfectly matched to the virus.
Here we go.
Because there was low natural immunity and there were people getting very badly injured by COVID. And then, but it was also brought in therapeutics like hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin and protocols for treatments. And there were no mandates. And then
okay, I have another question. So please, about
that's when I began litigating against President Biden's mandates. Now,
so let me go on because
in terms of me canceling those contracts,
I have limited time, Mr. Secretary. I'm sorry.
Hey, Seth.
You've called for
I want to address this dumbass Trina. She said military gets vaccines all the time. It's an order. This guy serve ? Non-serving folks talking about what the military should do is hilarious. It's almost as if I said vaccines that have been tested can be regulated by independent people. The military is not fucking designed to be a giant experiment. So no. And it was considered unconstitutional to do that to them. So what is your fucking point, that we should just fucking inject our service members with random fucking shit?
Well, we used to.
Yeah, we used to. We don't do that anymore.
Thank God. Hey, some people want us to go back to the old days, Monty. Some people want us to go backwards, not forward. But Monty kind of cut out there a little bit.
Hello?
I found the guy's name. It was Dr. Michael Yeaton. But if YouTube has the policies they do, you probably aren't allowed to show it without disclaimer.
Oh, man. Michael Yeaton.
Yeah.
All right, I'll look him up on the side. But all right, let's get back to it.
Rightly